Ladies and gentlemen, a new snapshot for Minecraft Java Edition 1.16, the Nether update, has been released. This is Minecraft 20w16a with a new Bastion Remnant structure, new portal ruins generating across the world, and a new music disc. My name is slicedlime. I'm here to guide you through all of the details of every change in this snapshot. Let's start with the world generation and those new types of structures. There are 4 separate types of Bastion Remnants, the home of the Piglins, have arrived. The 4 types are bridges, Hoglin stables, housing units, and treasure rooms. These Bastion Remnants generate in all Nether biomes except for basalt deltas, and they are generated using the jigsaw system. Now, we will be going through all of the details of how these structures are put together. If you haven't seen the village videos that I did for the village and pillage update, then here is a primer on how this system works. Imagine that you have a building kit, sort of like a Lego kit of things. You have one block to start with, and then that block has a number of connectors, sort of like the little connector dots on the Lego pieces. Each surface like that can be connected to another piece, assuming that piece fits, but potentially there are many different ones that you can choose from for any given connection. That's a very rough overview of how the jigsaw system works. I'll be making a much more in-depth tutorial about the system later down the line. Anyway, what the system will do when generating a structure is to start with a certain start piece, and then from that randomize selections of all of the different individual pieces. That means that every bastion is made up of a structured but random selection of pieces out of a huge pool of potential structures. Just like I did with the villages, I've made a test world that showcases each of these structures by themselves. You can download that world through a link in the video description if you want to follow along in-game, or if you just want to take a closer look. So here we are in the Bastion Showcase world. This world contains a line of structures for each type of bastions. This one is for the bridge type. Says on the signs here, you can see the next one over there. So if you want to check this out, just go into this world and check out these. There's a structure block next to each piece, and that tells you which structure that you're looking at. These are the jigsaw pieces. Whenever you see a jigsaw block like this, you can know that this will connect to something else when the structure is completed. Let's go through how all of the bastions are put together, starting with this bridge type. It starts with a base that is this enormous structure. Maybe I should do this in spectator mode instead, it'll just be a little easier. So you can see that it has a lot of stuff in it. That is the base. This will be at the bottom of the thing. There's a connection on top of it that is for a start piece, that is this piece, and that can also have a face piece on the outside, and that is this piece. After that, it has something called connector pieces. There are 2 of those, we're looking at them here, and a bridge piece, that is this piece. You will definitely recognize this if you see a bridge type generated in the world. Note that these structures are not placed as they are. There are also a number of processing rules that run afterwards. For instance, they can sometimes take away some of the gold blocks, they can replace the blackstone bricks with correct versions, and so on. So even if the same structure is selected, no 2 bastions will still be alike. There are also 2 leg pieces, these 2 pieces, and 2 ramparts pieces. There are these 2 larger structures here, and you can see that one of them has 2 chests in it. We'll get back to the loot tables for all of these later. It also has something called a rampart plate, that is this thing right here, this narrow piece. Finally, this type of bastion also has 2 wall pieces. They are these huge chunk of blackstone right here. And that is actually all of the pieces for the bridge type of bastion. They are by far the simplest and with the fewest pieces. Let's move on to the Hoglin stables. These ended up in the wrong order, but let's start over here with the starting piece for the Hoglin stables. The starting piece for the Hoglin stable is simply this one, a big slab of basically nothing. This is what will carve out the space for the bastion in the Nether. Even if there's netherrack in the way, the space here will carve out a space, and there are connectors in it to continue. After that, there are a number of starting stairs. There are 5 types of starting stairs that we're seeing now. And there are also 5 mirrored types of starting stairs. This type of bastion only has a single type of connector. It is the end post connector. You can see it here, and it only contains, well, 2 jigsaw blocks. After that we have the posts. They are similar to the legs of the previous type, you can see here. And then the large stables. Large stables have 10 different variants split into 5 inner versions and 5 outer versions. Let's start with the 5 inner versions. There are also small stable types. There are 3 types of inner ones for those and 3 types of outer ones. Hoglin stables also have ramparts. There are 3 different types of those for Hoglin stables. You can see them here with radically different heights. There's also 1 type of rampart plates. You can see that here. This, again, narrower section. And 18 different types of stairs. And as we're watching these, let me remind you that if you want to take a closer look at any of these, feel free to download this world from the link in the video description and have a walkabout, or, well, I suppose a flyabout, for yourself. There's a little too much to show off all of it in detail here. The Hoglin stables are by far the version of the Bastion Remnants that have the most structures involved. Finally, there are 3 types of walls for Hoglin stable Bastion Remnants. One is called the wall base, that's the one that we're looking at here first. And then there are 2 types of side walls. Those are these big lumps of blackstone. Let us move on to the treasure room Bastion Remnant type, starting with a big air full piece that is the same as before. This carves out an airspace in the Nether. The treasure room then has a base that is the lava basin, and then 4 different centers into that. These centers all contain gold blocks and treasure chests, and again we'll get back to the loot tables for those. Treasure room Bastion Remnants have this piece called the center brain. That is what you're looking at here, connectors in different directions. Then there are 3 types of connectors. They're not terribly interesting because they contain only air and connecting pieces. They are center to wall top entrance, and center to wall middle. Corners, there are plenty of those. There's bottom corners, 2 of them. Mid corners, 2 of those. And top corners, 2 of those. In addition to that, there are edges for bottom, middle, and top. There's 1 entrance. We're looking at that here. And then there's a structure type called extensions. Can be a large variety of things. One called empty, we're looking at here, which is just another connector piece. A fire room, which is, well, pretty descriptive. 2 different types of houses. 4 large bridge variants. A roofed bridge variant. And 4 small bridge variants. Treasure room Bastion Remnants also have a number of ramparts. This is the bottom wall type, the top wall type, the mid wall main type, the mid wall side type, the lava basin main type, the lava basin side type. Then there's a stairs section called simply lower stairs, and a large number of wall sections. They are entrance wall, lava wall, bottom wall, 4 versions of that, mid wall, 3 versions of that, top wall, 2 versions of that, and a top main entrance, as well as outer walls, sections for the bottom corner, for the medium outer wall, for a mid corner, for something just called outer wall, for tall outer walls, and a top corner. Finally, this type also has 3 types of roof, that is the center roof, a corner roof, and a wall roof. The final type of Bastion Remnants is the housing unit. The starting piece for this is also an air base followed by a center piece, and there are 3 different versions of those. Edges is a single type of that, and then fillers is something called stage 0 in fillers, and 2 different types of pathways, one called pathway and one called pathway wall. Then there is something called stages, and there are 15 different type of stages for this type of Bastion Remnant. Housing units have 2 different wall unit types. This is just called a unit, and this one is called edge large. It has 2 types of wall. One is called wall base, that's this one, and one called connected wall. Finally, there are 3 types of ramparts. There are also different new loot tables for the chests in these various bastion structures. The loot tables for chests in Bridge Bastion Remnants contains a pool with lodestone in it, 1 or 2 rolls that can yield between 5 and 18 spectral arrows, between 5 and 10 gilded blackstone, between 3 and 8 crying obsidian, 1 gold block, between 2 and 8 gold ingots, between 2 and 8 iron ingots, a golden sword, or a randomly enchanted golden chestplate, helmet, leggings, or boots. It also has between 2 and 4 rolls on a loot pool with 1 to 6 string, 1 to 3 leather, 5 to 17 arrows, 2 to 6 iron nuggets, and 2 to 6 gold nuggets. The Hoglin stable loot table contains a pool with exactly 1 roll between a randomly enchanted netherite shovel, randomly enchanted golden hoe, netherite scraps, ancient debris, between 2 and 4 gold blocks, and a saddle, or nothing, and between those you're slightly more likely to get a saddle than any other item. It also rolls 3 to 4 loot rolls with a pool that contains 1 to 5 glowstone blocks, 1 to 5 gilded blackstone blocks, between 2 and 7 soul sand, between 2 and 7 crimson nylium, between 2 and 8 gold nuggets, between 1 and 3 leather, between 5 and 17 arrows, between 3 and 8 string, between 2 and 5 pork chops, between 2 and 5 cooked pork chops, between 2 and 7 crimson fungus, and between 2 and 7 crimson roots. For the treasure room loot table, we have a pool with exactly 1 roll between a netherite ingot, ancient debris, a netherite scrap, a rare chance to get 2 ancient debris, a randomly enchanted netherite sword, chestplate, helmet, leggings, or boots, or an unenchanted netherite sword, chestplate, helmet, boots, or leggings, as well as a chance of between 1 and 3 diamonds. It also rolls between 2 and 4 rolls on a loot pool that can give you between 5 and 21 spectral arrows, between 2 and 5 gold blocks, between 3 and 9 gold ingots, between 3 and 9 iron ingots, between 1 and 5 crying obsidian, between 8 and 23 quartz, between 1 and 5 gilded blackstone, between 2 and 8 magma creams, or between 8 and 16 iron nuggets. There's also one final Bastion related loot table called simply Bastion Other that contains a pool with exactly 1 roll of a randomly enchanted crossbow, 1 piece of ancient debris, 1 piece of netherite scrap, between 5 and 20 spectral arrows, exactly 1 piglin banner pattern, exactly 1 of the new music disc added in this version, or no item at all. And of those, the ancient debris and netherite scrap are more rare. There are also 2 rolls against a loot pool that contains a soul speed enchanted book, soul speed enchanted golden boots, a golden block, an unenchanted crossbow, between 1 and 6 gold or iron ingots, or 1 gold sword, chestplate, helmet, leggings, or boot. It also rolls between 3 and 5 rolls on a loot pool that can give you between 1 and 5 crying obsidian, between 1 and 5 gilded blackstone, between 2 and 10 chain blocks, between 2 and 6 magma cream, between 3 and 6 bone blocks, between 2 and 8 iron nuggets, between 4 and 6 obsidian blocks, between 2 and 8 gold nuggets, between 4 and 6 strings, or between 5 and 17 arrows. That was a ton of info, but that is not the only structure added in this version. There are new shattered remains of ancient nether portals in both the overworld and the nether. It doesn't matter which biome, they can show up wherever. Some of them are hidden underground, some of them are under the sea, and some of them are buried in sand. There are 13 versions of these in total, and as before with the Bastions, I have made a showcase world that showcases all of these. And here we are in the demonstration world for the ruined portal structures. There are 3 different types called giant portals, you can see those here. Note here that they look very similar, but the blocks in these are all adapted depending on the biome that the portal spawns in and have a processor run. So, for instance, if they spawn in the nether, all the stone bricks are going to get replaced by black stone bricks, and the iron bars are going to be replaced by chains. There's also a chance for the gold blocks to simply not be present. In addition to the 3 giant types, there are also 10 normal type portals. And again, if you want to have a closer look at these portals, feel free to download the demo world from a link in the video description. These ruined portals can also have chests, and those can have loot. That means we have another loot table to go through. There are rolls between 4 and 8 rolls on a single loot pool that has some different sections. Most commonly it can give you between 1 and 2 obsidian blocks, between 1 and 4 flint, between 9 and 18 iron nuggets, a flint and steel, a fire charge, a golden apple. Somewhat less commonly, you can also get between 4 and 24 golden nuggets, or a randomly enchanted golden sword, axe, hoe, shovel, pickaxe, boots, chestplate, helmet, or leggings. Even more uncommonly, you can get between 4 and 12 glistening melon slices, golden horse armor, a lightweight pressure plate, between 4 and 12 golden carrots, a clock, or between 2 and 8 gold ingots. And for extremely rare items, you can also get a bell, an enchanted golden apple, or between 1 and 2 gold blocks. Those were all the newly added structures, but there are more world fixes. The new basalt deltas biome added in the previous version has been tweaked so that it now has more lava pools. And a fix has been done for world generation where the new nether biomes didn't work properly in buffet style worlds. Let's move on to blocks and items. There's a new block in this version, it is the chain block. You can craft that from iron nuggets and an iron ingot. It is a decorative block that acts pretty much as an iron bar does when it's not connected to anything else. There's a new item too, it's a new music disc. That music disc is titled Pigstep. It is a song made by Lena Rain, who also made the new Nether soundtrack. As before, I've published a separate video if you want to hear this song. A unique thing about this music disc is that you can only find it in Bastion Remnant chests. The Piglin banner pattern can now be found in Bastion Remnants as well, so you can now get that in survival. And a bunch of bug fixes have been done to compasses. So if you turn a compass in an item frame, then it will still point towards the correct location. And in the previous version, if you had multiple compasses, then they would all point to the same target. That has been fixed in this version as well. A single mob fix, but an important one in this version. Villagers had stopped farming sometimes, that has been fixed in this version. Some tiny visual updates in this version as well. The textures for the chiseled nether bricks and the quartz bricks blocks have been updated. Sound fixes, or to be more specific, subtitle fixes. When the player was too far away to hear a sound, then the sound would still play and show a subtitle sometimes. This was especially noticeable with minecarts loading in. You'd get the little minecart rolls subtitle. That has been fixed in this version. Technical changes in this version. There's now a user interface button on the jigsaw blocks that can generate that jigsaw structure. You can set the generation level, that is how many jigsaw steps will be taken, and hit the generate button to generate that structure. Another change to structure blocks has been done too. Structure blocks now have a maximum size of 48, up from 32. There's a new item tag in this version as well. It is Creeper Drop Music Discs. It contains all of the music discs that creepers can drop when shot by a skeleton. That is, it does not contain the new Pigstep music disc. For performance and stability, a number of crash fixes and server hangs have been fixed in this version. If you have a Windows symbolic link in your saves folder, that will now work again. And if you run a dedicated server, then you can now monitor its performance with a JMX bean. There's more information about how to do this in the official changelog. And those were all the changes for Minecraft 20w16a. Do remember that this is a snapshot, as it's less well tested than your average version, and it can crash your game or even corrupt your world. So if you try this version, do so on a backup of your world or on a separate test world. Remember that any world that you upgrade to this snapshot can never be downgraded to a previous version again. If you want to try this version out but you don't know how to, then click on the link in the card on the video right now or in the video description. That'll take you to a tutorial video about how to get and play a Minecraft snapshot. That was all I had for you this time. I hope you found this update video useful, and if you did, please help me out in return, leave a like and share it with your friends. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Minecraft news, then please subscribe to this channel where I make update videos for every new snapshot, pre-release or release of Minecraft. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified when new videos are out. My name is slicedlime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.